Hello, this is Donald Trump from Mr. Cohn. Thank you so much.
Donald who?
That's a scene from The Apprentice, the movie. It's a film about a young Donald Trump making his mark in the business world. It's in theaters now after a world premiere at the Cannes Festival in May. Catherine McNally, who plays his mother, Mary Ann Trump, joins us in studio. And you say this film was shot last year.
Yes.
In Toronto.
Yes, we began filming in the middle of November, and that was 2023, and we completed filming in January of 2024. And it's funny, there's a final scene where he goes over the bridge. That would be the bridge going into Queens. It's right here in Hamilton.
Really?
It's the bridge in Hamilton.
Is it the McQuestion Bridge?
Yes, it is.
Oh my, okay, really gonna have to look at that.
Yes.
How did you feel making this, knowing what's going on right now?
Yes, that's a great question, thank you. Well, it's interesting because it's your job as an actor. We're storytellers. All of us were. Sebastian Stan, who plays Donald Trump, knew of wanting to do this film since 2019. Ali Abbasi, who directed it, 2016. Then, of course, things sort of evolved. Gabriel Sherman wrote an article, which the film was based on. He wrote the screenplay. So it's a Canadian, Danish, and Irish co-production. So this really just sort of came to fruition in the end of August last year. Then in Canada, they just cast it, and I was literally cast, and the next day I got the offer, and that was the beginning of November. So I really didn't have time to really not overthink it, but to really dive into the implications of it. Of course, the crew, everyone knew this was sort of bigger than ourselves, but we couldn't really go to that space. We had to really just dive in and be present in the moment. The way Ali Abbasi creates the space for us to be creative and tell these stories with humanity and with layers. It's really not until after the fact that all the shenanigans happened after the filming, the viewing in Cannes, where cease and desists and suits, lawsuits, and money being pulled, and it was going to be sitting in a vault as of middle of August. And then we got an American distributor, Briarcliff Entertainment, came in, and that's when everything sort of opened the floodgates. But of course, it's bigger than ourselves.
Yes.
But all of us took care of each other in the process of it. We were a really happy crew, happy set, happy actors, because you're creating and you're all in it together. And it was a really great creative experience for all of us.
Tell us about the time period of when this is. This is like 80s, 90s?
Yes, and you'll see that in the way Ali Abbasi has chosen his cinematography with Casper, who's our wonderful cinematographer. It's got that 70s kind of grainy, kind of like punk rock kind of feel to it, very poppy. And then it moves into the 80s, which has got that kind of glossy of, lifestyles of the rich and famous sort of feel to it, right? So he's a brilliant filmmaker, and he's able to tell stories so exquisitely that really takes you into the journey of that time period. Of course, the costumes and the makeup and everything that they did too as well was amazing.
Right, and this is at a time when very few people had heard of Donald Trump.
Yes, he was a young man, around 27. I play his mother, so I was, giving him over to the world. And as every young man, I have a 23-year-old. He actually just saw the movie for the first time last night with me. You give them over to the world, and you hope that they do the best they can, and with all the nooks and crannies that life is going to throw at them, and with hopes and dreams, as every young man does, or every young person as they go out in the world. And then he meets up with Roy Cohn, who's this, well, hence The Apprentice. He becomes the apprentice of Roy Cohn, who I suggest you see the movie.
Very powerful Republican,
Republican, provocative lawyer, has unsavory ways of winning the case, and teaches him the 3 lessons of how to make his way in the world, which is attack, 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 accept nothing, deny everything, and never admit defeat. So these are these rules that then he embodies, and you see the transformation of this young man into the person he is today, up to just when he meets Savannah and just before he does the Apprentice series. So you'll really see the nooks and crannies of this human being, and both of them together, and the intricacies of their relationship. And then the family dynamic is really important too. Really important for me to tell the mother's story, with how you love your children unconditionally, and then it sort of shifts into other dynamics. And she was a mother of 5 children, and the oldest son, Freddie, was the one who died young, age of 42, and that has certainly implications in the family dynamic.
Okay.
With a very powerful father figure too as well, played by Martin Donovan too as well.
Catherine, thanks so much for joining us. I have to see this film.
You have to see this film.
Okay, look
It's
forward.
not what you think it is.
Okay.
It's very
Okay.
dynamic.
And it's in theaters now.
It's in theaters, and you'll recognize a lot of different locations.
Okay, I'm going to look for the McQuestion Bridge in
That's
Hamilton.
right.
Okay.